What is happening, everybody? Happy Sunday. How are we doing? It is good to see everybody. Let me say what's up to everybody real quick. Before I bring Annie on from 10 to Life. See Dawn Marie with Shakin, Tasha McGregor, Brandy K, Hope Addis. I don't know what I just did there. Okay. Rosaline, Marissa Anderson, Mark Klein, Wicked Witch. That girl. Yeah. TCH, Cassandra Olvera, Dizzy Girl 760, Amy Thornton. Welcome, everybody. Pretty Peaches. How we doing, girl? All right. So guys, tonight we're going to talk about a number of things. We're just going to kind of hang out, kind of chill. I'm sure a lot of you have come over from, hey, Sandy Jersey girl. I know a lot of you in Bella Rose. What's up? Come over from Annie's live that she just did now. And as always, it was great. It was pure fire. But Annie's been drinking a little bit of wine. And I've been drinking a little bit of wine. Well, I just opened and I have not even taken my first sip yet, but she's got a head start on me. But we're gonna make this a fun one. We're just gonna hang out. We're gonna talk about a few things, and we're gonna get to know Annie a little bit better. But all right, let's bring her on.
Hi.
Yo. How's it going?
I feel like my camera looks like so bright compared to yours.
It is. I have a horrible lighting issue here. This is literally the only place in the apartment that I can go live from.
No, I like it. It's like mood lighting.
That's what I'm trying to like fake, I guess. but yeah. Welcome. This is the Glarer. It's not much, but it's ours and we love it. We take pride in it here. But I wanted to start off by saying something real quick. I wanted to start off by saying a lot of you guys know about the Natalie Berry situation, and how that happened was that a friend of mine on Facebook, on my personal Facebook, she happens to know a bunch of people that I know. I don't even know if I've ever even when it comes to politics and things like that. So we're always kind of going at each other on Facebook. But then she posted that her friend was missing, and right off the bat, my instinct is, well, I have a YouTube channel. It's not much, but I know YouTube creators who happen to have a good, strong following, and I can reach out to them and see if they can help. And Annie was one of the first people I reached out to, and immediately she responded with, "What can I do?" And so I'm here to tell everyone like that comes along, is a total sensation right off the bat, and then just humbly I ask her for this favor. She doesn't know me from Adam, really, and she's completely on board and did this wonderful thing and did an entire live to try to locate. Now she's safe, and she's good. I'm not going to get into any details on that, but it worked out. And so, a lot of true crime creators, man, they have the guise of really caring, and you can tell that Annie is as much of a victim's advocate as she can possibly be allowed to be. And that totally proved it to me. So I wanted to publicly be on here and start off by thanking you for that.
You are very welcome. Thank you for thinking of me and for bringing it to my attention, because that's in my backyard.
Yeah, yeah. That's another reason why I thought of you too. And I reached out to a couple of other creators, and they got back to me too. I was actually the night that she had actually turned up, I had two other lives on two other channels set up, ready to go, because I was ready to just get that out there. I mean, at some point, I was almost convinced, aside from having that hope that she's going to be okay, I, you know, I was with all the facts laid out about the case. It wasn't even a case, but with everything laid out, man, it sounded like something awful had happened to her. Did it not? I mean,
Yeah. Well, that's why I had said, like, in our group chat, I was like, if this wasn't a clear indicator that you need to be done with Andre, like, now it's done. It's like the nail is in the coffin. Like, he just showed his true colors. Like, he's out.
and that's the thing. That's why I discussed that in text. It was the same thing with Letitia Stock. I actually criticized some creators for basically painting a picture that she is guilty of a crime that we didn't even know took place until she was arrested, and that affidavit was released. But this was a situation where, I mean, I did live streams on Letitia prior to that, but I was like, look, I'm not saying she's guilty of a crime, but one thing that I am sure of is she's guilty of being an asshole.
100%. And a narcissist.
Yeah, absolutely, completely and totally. And I get on people about that. I get on people for making these diagnoses of, and I'm like, okay, so you're a mental health professional now, because people were saying Chris Watts was narcissistic, and I'm like, you watched the TV interview, that's all you had.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But I get like that. But anyway, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking red wine. It's not very fancy. It's called Farmer something. Apparently it's vegan. Not that I give a shit about vegan stuff. Sorry if I'm I don't know if I'm okay to cuss here. But it's vegan, so apparently it's like limited headaches, which I like because I drink a few glasses of this a night.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with my internet.
Yeah, it's going in and out a tiny bit, not much, but like every few minutes or so.
Right. Yeah, I plugged directly into the router, so but I don't know. I think there's just something with the internet around here for some reason. So I apologize for that. So tell me, what are your thoughts on the Gannon Stock case? I mean, actually, before we get into that, how did you get into true crime? What was your
honestly,
usually somebody has an incident there or something.
I know. Luckily, I don't have any personal incidents that got me into it. I just watched a lot of Dateline. My sister and I are really close, and that used to be our thing. Friday nights, we'd pick up food and we watch Dateline and talk about Keith Morrison's one-liners and how amazing they are. And I don't know, I've seen probably it's not true crime, but I've seen every episode of Law and Order, Criminal Minds. I watch all the Oxygen shows. I'm just really fascinated by it. And I have been for over 10 years, 15 years now.
Yeah, it was so cool when I was in your chat one time. You said how you had seen literally every episode of SVU. Weird. I can say that too. You're the only other person I've ever talked to that can actually say that. I can say that genuinely, because what happened was I worked a night shift job. We're talking 10 years ago, right? I worked a night shift job, and well, it was more like 8. And SVU was on Netflix, and I literally just watched every episode. And then after that, I just didn't miss one. I caught it on Hulu or whatever. So every single, from there on, I've never missed an episode of SVU. It's just, it's that time of week. Cool
thing too. They always run the marathons on cable. So it's if you're just channel surfing, trying to find something, and you see a huge strip of SVU episodes, on, I know where I'm going to be the next 12 hours, and just keep it on.
Yeah. You buffered there for a second for me, so
Oh.
I missed the last thing you said.
Oh. It wasn't important.
So yeah, I like, for me, a friend of mine got murdered about, it was probably about 10 years ago when he got murdered.
God.
Yeah, he was it was a case called the Joe Cool murders. It was actually pretty high profile, happened in Miami. And this guy that I grew up with, and, got into all kinds of trouble with for fun, growing up. And he was the kind of guy, I mean, there was times where we had to sleep on the street, but if he had a place to go and I didn't, he would not leave me alone, and he would hang out and stay with me. And, he was that kind of guy. And apparently he ended up moving in with his dad, his stepdad. And his stepdad had a house on Star Island in Miami, which is and literally actually the house that they filmed Scarface in, the White House. Yeah, he lived in that house. Which is crazy. And he had a boat, and the boat, him and his half brother would take the boat out and get into these fishing competitions. And which is kind of shady in itself. I mean, from Miami to Bimini, it's like 2 hours. It's nothing. It's $4,000. That's a lot of money. There's something shady going on. They should have just been like, no, it stinks. And then once they got out to the ocean, these guys just decided to shoot everyone on the boat. It's 4 people. They orphaned a kid. Yeah, and my friend Scott was one of them. And it turns out that the guy, it was this guy who robbed, or who was a manager of like Target or Walmart or something, and then he stole the deposit, and then he had this young lover that was like 18 years old, and their plan was to like steal all this money and then take off to Cuba and seek exile. So they tried to steal the boat, and they couldn't even figure out how to drive the boat once they shot everybody and threw them overboard. And wow,
how long ago was that?
Man, I can't remember what year it was. I try not to think about it too much, but it's I think it was 2008. Damn. I think. So
that's horrible.
Yeah. And I mean, and it was crazy because we hadn't talked for a long time. He got married. And then he's got time. I guess he needs friends. And then we started hanging out again, which was great because he was living right there on South Beach. I was a body piercer at a tattoo shop on South Beach at the time. So we would just meet up for drinks after I get off work. And it sucked. We had just started to get close again. And then that made me get into this spin of why do these things happen? And then I just started following these cases and having a soft spot for, so that's kind of why.
That's good. It shows that you have a true passion for it because it's close to you.
Right. And I'm not exclusively a true crime channel. I'm too disorganized to do that. But I like talking about it. And I do talk about these cases on here from time to time. And so you're married?
I am married, yes.
And you have a little girl?
Boy.
Little boy?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Theodore.
Theo? Nice. How old is he?
He just turned a year in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's a little guy.
Yeah. They're like at that age, they're just wanting to get into everything. They figured out how to stand on their feet and move.
Literally everything.
Yeah. I remember when my son, he was that age, I'd be like, Hayden. How
old is he now?
Oh, he's 19 now.
Oh, shit. You have a grown kid.
He's almost 20, actually.
Do you have more or just the one?
Actually turns 20 in less than a week. Yeah.
Do you have just one or more?
Well, I have a daughter, but she's not biologically mine. When I met my son's mom, she was already 6. Yeah. So, I was there with her, so long that she just called me dad, and, you know, but she's 20. She's about to be 26.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've got grown kids. You look younger than somebody who has adult.
Oh man, it's a miracle. I'm a miracle of modern science. Like the woman that I had to deal with all these years, you know what I'm saying? Like the things that the fact that they're grown now, and now I literally get to do anything I want. Like, so right now I work a really low paying job. I sacrifice a lot of luxuries, and I work a really low paying job because I love the job, and so I sacrifice a lot of luxuries, and it's worth it, and I enjoy it, and I don't have to worry about putting food in kids' bellies.
It's freedom and happiness. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I've always worked jobs I hated, and this is the first time that I never had to do that, and it's nice.
That's great.
What do you do on your?
So I am a trend forecaster, which not a lot of people know what the hell that is.
I know.
Basically, so I'm in the fashion industry. I've been in fashion for the last 13 years, and I was a buyer for many, many years, and now I do trend forecasting. So I basically research all of the upcoming trends and prints and colors that you're going to see in department stores and in retail stores next year and the following year. So like right now, for example, I just wrapped spring 21, and now I'm working on fall 21. And I put together the big seasonal strategies that you present to the buying teams of these companies. And then the buyers know what to buy and what to do for product development. And then that's how the product gets in the stores for what you guys are buying and wearing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, you're just all around just doing everything you love. Like
not sleeping.
You live a charmed life, young lady. That is awesome.
It's a busy life.
But it's, I mean, the thing is you can tell by the way that you run your channel how successful it is so quickly is because you're extremely organized. I mean, you didn't even know how to work StreamYard. But you,
why are you calling me out?
Well, you would say, I'm not saying anything you haven't said on your own channel like 100 times. I'm just saying. But
I still don't know how to stream. I don't.
I barely know what I'm doing on here still too. Like, I just like to do it because it's fun. Like, I recognize almost everybody in my chat. So, it's just us hanging out always.
You got a solid crew here. Look, this chat is like on fire.
Yeah, they're good people, man. They're good people. Yeah. So yeah, and I had a feeling about you. I heard a couple of your lives, and I was like, this girl, she knows her stuff, man, and she seems like she really cares. And this community really needs positive, because this is the thing. I mean, if the big problem right now is hey, what's up, Save Robbie? If the problem right now is the media being biased and being corporate whores and all this sort of thing, it's up to the people, and we have a platform here. We have the means to express our voices, and we can. Somebody as organized as you comes on here, you give your opinions, you're clear that they're just opinions. Really important for us to have as an alternative from mainstream media, but creators have to be responsible in the process, or else we're going to build a bad reputation for us. Nobody's ever going to take us seriously. Nobody's going to look to us for information. And I like the idea of being something that people can rely on for information.
Totally.
And you seem that way
with YouTube.
My friend, it's actually my friend Sean that I told you about, that was on that case that they just aired, the accident, suicide, or murder. They did that thing, and he was just a member at my job, and we would just get to talking, and then one day he tells me that, and I'm like, holy shit. And I was already thinking about doing a YouTube channel, and I actually started with Critical K. I don't know if you know who she is. But she's also a really good friend, and she responded quickly when I came to her with the Natalie Berry thing.
Nice.
She responded very quickly. She's super dependable. She gets a bad rap on YouTube, but it's
so many do.
I mean, but see, that earns my respect in a way, and how you handle it. You know what I mean? She gives some pretty controversial opinions, and people get mad. They end up hating her for it. But see, I'm of the opinion that that's also what makes this platform so great, is you can do that. And you're free to do that. And I will always fight and advocate for someone's right to do that, whether I agree with their opinions or not. So you don't have to like it. You could just not watch it. Watch somebody else's channel if you don't like it, but.
Well, that's what I've learned. I feel like lately I've been getting a ton of trolls in the sense of, which it's like, I know everybody says like, you're going to get trolls regardless, which I don't care. Like, I actually engage back and like kill them with kindness just because I like to piss them off further. But I feel like people say that they're like, this is such bullshit, or like, you check your facts. I'm like, then why are you here? If you don't like it, you have the freedom to like mosey on over to any other channel.
What is the force that is holding you here? That doesn't make sense at all.
I know. But I like, sometimes I know I should just ignore them, but I like to engage with them sometimes and just like give them the answer they're not looking for, because I don't get combative. I just get like, oh, you want to know how much my lip injections were? They were $500. Or do you want to know how much they were over the course of how long? I'll tell you.
Yeah, man. So you get some like catty women that visit your chat. And men, yeah. There was that one guy, dude. I was on point the entire chat, and then this one guy shows up right after I sent a comment going, "Hey, see you guys later. I got to do stuff." And then you're like, "Will, get this guy out of here." And I'm like, shit. So I had to get back on the channel, and then your other new mod, I forgot her name already, but Amy was on it, and she took care of it. So that's why you need more moderators.
I know. I didn't even know that was a thing. I literally, you were my very first one.
So and important.
You messaged me, and you're all, you need mods. I'm like, what's a mod? What do you eat? What does that mean? You're all, wrench me. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Sorry.
Anyone that I have wrenched on this channel right here, I vouch for 100%. So if they volunteer, and you would like to, I vouch for them 100%.
That's great.
So they're a great team, and everybody in the chat is just super cool too. What's up, Devil Mike? And the Foo always leaves me awesome comments. And then Save Robbie. Save Robbie's got a channel. I don't know if you know who he is. No, Save Robbie's got a channel. It's a good channel. It's fun. He does fun parody stuff, and and a little bit of true crime. He's been there's a new creator that named Mexi that he has been teaming up with, and they've been doing some they kind of explore the supernatural side of true crime, and they're in Colorado, so they get to visit areas where some of these things happened, and I think they either just went to the Watts house or they're going to the Watts house. Is that happening?
That's amazing.
But Mexi does like readings of like, fluctuations of energy and things like that. It's pretty dope.
I feel like that's been getting more and more mainstream with like the readings, the tarot, like all of these different things, which it's like, I totally believe in all of that, like sources of energies and mediums. Like, I don't care if it's real. I believe
I mean, I believe in that. I believe in the science behind it. Like, I'm not a religious guy, but I do believe that there's a scientific explanation for whatever we hear about in religious stories. It's long before science was even explored, so people are going to use metaphors to describe experiences. But that's not to say that I don't respect the Bible and its teachings, I believe that there's a scientific explanation for everything.
Yeah.
That's as simply as I could put that.
Totally. Where do you live, by the way? You don't like, not specifically, because I know we're like public here, but like what quadrant of the country are you in?
I'm in Tennessee.
Ah, okay. Oh, so you're East Coast.
Yeah, I was born in St. Louis. And then I moved to Miami when I was 12, and I spent most of my life there, and then moved to Atlanta about 9 years ago or so, and then moved here about a year and a half ago.
Nice. How far are you from Nashville?
From Nashville, I don't know, a couple hours.
Okay, Nashville's my jam. Obviously, I don't know any other cities in Tennessee because
I'm close.
Than ever.
Yeah, I'm closer to like Gatlinburg, like where Dolly World is and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I'm closer to that area.
Cool.
In the mountains, it's nice. It's really nice.
Nice.
And mods, yeah, do me a favor, drop a link for Save Robbie's channel in here. Make sure to drop a link for 10 to Life as well.
Oh, thanks.
So yeah, so are you a Slayer fan, or is that just a fashion thing?
It's a fashion thing. I mean, look, let me just tell you.
I'm not knocking it. I think it's dope. It's
let me tell you
cool.
this. So I had an ex-boyfriend who was like a metalhead and like listened to all this crazy music. So like, I'll listen. Like, I'm a fan, but like, if you were to put me on the spot right now and say, "Tell me your favorite song,"
I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, hold on, let me Google it really quick.
No, I didn't mean it in that sense. I was just curious because you don't meet a lot of girls who are into Slayer, man. You just don't. So it was more of a, oh, that's cool if you're into Slayer. It's just as cool that you're not. No worries. But I mean, I'm not even that into Slayer. I just like them, you know. I never go, ooh, let me hear some Slayer and then look for it and play it. Like, but if it comes on, I'm like, ooh, Slayer, you know. But yeah. So how long have you been following the Gannon stock case from the start?
Not from the very beginning, probably for like, gosh, maybe the last couple of months, but not like right out of the gate. I heard a little bit about it, but I wasn't like super invested in it just because I was like really like from the get-go involved in the Lori and Chad case. Like that's where I was like literally updates every single moment of the day. But I started really getting into it probably about like a month or so, like 2 months ago.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The whole Letitia Stock thing, man, that's, I mean, she was gonna try, from what I understand, she was actually gonna try to use the fact that, you know, everyone on the internet was basically convicting her, you know, prior to a trial. And, sorry, I had a thread there hanging from my shirt. It was bugging the hell out of me. So, but, and, you know, it's like I was saying, I think we have to be real careful with that stuff, man, because, you know, it's not about so much being ethical. I mean, yeah, that's a big thing for me too, but I don't want to screw up an investigation. You know, I want Gannon to get justice. I want, you know, I want Landon and Al to get justice for the loss of their son. So to me, it's, you know, we have to be careful with that. And I mean, she wouldn't have gotten it. So now she's saying that she's being evaluated in a mental institution to see if she's competent to stand trial.
I mean, I don't even know what to believe about this woman. Like, she's worn so many different faces from the get. Like, she was the loving stepmom. Then she was the one who didn't even want to literally show her face on camera and did an interview with her back to the camera.
So bizarre.
It's so bizarre. And then, like, she's sending text messages to her friend, getting these fake polygraphs. And, like, she is just, like, so she's very calculated, but, like, not in a smart way. If you were smart and intelligent, like, you could have made a lot of these things work to your advantage, but you're not. And you should have probably used the insanity route way before you tried to escape. You're just a moron.
How? Yeah. I mean, but she still managed to go to Florida under the radar. The cops didn't even know she went to Florida to dump the body.
I know. I mean, this woman, I think it's because she was pretty tricky with all of her different cars and the route she took going through Carolina. And
yeah. She's crafty.
She is crafty, but like there's certain things where it's like, when are people going to learn your search history is there? Like, it's not going away.
There's always a digital footprint, man.
Like, when are they going to realize that? And if you're returning a rental car with 955 miles on it, they're probably going to ask you where you went if you only had the car for 36 hours. Like, there's just certain things where it's like, you're kind of stupid, but you're also kind of crafty. I can't figure you out.
Right. Yeah. Like she's crafty. I mean, she's crafty enough to come up with schemes, just not enough to pull them off.
Totally.
Right. I mean, that's the vibe I get from her. Yeah, she will go to links. I mean, dude, this lady is something out of a movie, dude. She beat up a deputy and tried to escape en route back to Colorado. Who does that?
Yeah, but that's why I do feel like she is a narcissist in a way, because it's like she just feels like that the rules don't apply to her and that she's been like victimized. She not only did that on-camera interview where she was painting herself as the victim, but then she's like firing her fist at this deputy. Then she's trying to escape from prison. Like, you're the bad guy. Like, if the common denominator in all these things is you, like, at what point do you look in the mirror and realize I'm the problem? No, it blows my mind.
I can't relate to someone. And I'm fascinated, like, because I don't know what it was. Something about Gannon really hit home. I mean, 11-year-old boy. I mean, just as innocent as could be. You know, I mean, his favorite thing in the world was Sonic. You know, not even a violent superhero. No. His thing was Sonic. You know,
hedgehog.
Right? You know, a video game.
Yeah, I know.
So it's way before his time, which is kind of weird, and it broke my heart that he didn't get to see the movie when it was coming out. You know, it was just everything about that kid just really broke my heart. And then seeing Letitia on there, you know, of course I wanted to, you know, join the lynch mob and grab a pitchfork and everything, sure, but that's just not responsible. Because in the grand scheme of things, we want justice for Gannon. We want law enforcement to do their jobs. We want due process to work. We do these things and we cover these cases because we believe in due process. We have to, you know, we have to trust the system. Is it flawed? Absolutely. Nobody's saying it's not, but we have to trust the system to do its job. And when they keep things close to the vest, it's for a reason. They don't want to, you don't want the case hindered in any way, the investigation hindered in any way.
Totally.
So, you know, but now, I mean, with everything that we know from that affidavit, I mean, I don't feel uncomfortable talking about Letitia as though she's guilty at this point. I really don't.
Good old T. She is so guilty. And when you hear about like the stuff that's down in his room, and like what I'm still hung up on is the fact that she took pictures of him that morning sleeping in the bed. Like, part of me is wondering
why
was she taking,
what was the purpose of that?
Right. Like, was it for some sort of evidence or an alibi, or because they say that when they came back to the house, they saw that the bed had been moved a different way and there was different bedding. Did she take that picture to use as a reference, maybe as to like how the bed was positioned or what the bedding was, so she could look at it later and she forgot about it? But it's just too weird.
It is. And the pictures, those pictures, I mean, for all we know, they could be post-mortem. We don't even know exactly when they were taken.
Which is even sicker. Like, oh,
right. God. Right. But I doubt that because of the mess described in the affidavit. You know, I doubt that that's the case. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just making the point that we really don't know, and that's what we do, is we try to figure out what is going through the mind of someone like this, what inspires them. And what's weird is I got it. Like, I had her snowed in a way when she did the video. You know, I've seen child abuse before. Mm-hmm. And most of it is mental. Most of it is playing mind games with a kid, taking control of their weaker disposition, taking advantage of their weaker disposition. And when she made that video of, you know, saying, oh, well, you know, we're going to have to come up with the money for the couch, blah, 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 blah. She was filming it on purpose. You're not going to convince me in any way that she accidentally hit the record buttons. You accidentally opened the app. You accidentally switched it to video. You accidentally hit the record button. No. So she was, yeah, I could see that this person was abusive as it was. And the way that she spoke on social media, that interview blew my mind. Do you have anything you want to say to Gannon? Yeah. I can't wait till you clear all this up and get everybody off my ass. What? That's not
about her.
nothing of even of that nature. No. Just and
then she has to do she asked, can I do that over? And that's when she was crying, and she's all, he doesn't want you to come home. Like, okay, save your crocodile tears. It was too much. And even when she was calling Harley over to get in the interview where she's like, tell him about the hike and this and that, but with the night he dropped the candle in the carpet or whatever happened, and she was like Harley's all, well, what do you want me to tell him? And she was coaching her. I was like,
yeah, absolutely. She was totally coaching her. Yeah, I've gone through that video on this channel step by step 3 or 4 times. Yeah. Just whenever something happens some new development in this case, I'm like, let's not forget this person. Yeah. And I'll spend a whole live breaking that video down. It's it's crazy. I can't figure her out. But I know that she's abusive. I know that I knew that right away. Yeah. Whether or not she was guilty of his disappearance remained to be seen. But I was like, this woman is an abusive person. She's probably abusive to Al. She's probably abusive to her daughter. I mean, you saw how scared Harley was.
Yeah.
Her tone, Letitia's tone changed drastically when addressing Harley, where that's the lock that she has on her. That's this, as soon as that tone of voice comes over, she's got Harley in her control and doing whatever she needs her to do.
I think it says a lot too, how when she had her go pick up the cleaning supplies and come back, which we don't know what role Harley may or may have not played in everything as well, or if she was forced into cleaning, who knows what happened, but she did have a control over her daughter to where she was doing things for her mother that she probably knew she shouldn't have been doing, and telling stories that weren't exactly true, and different accounts. Even the night when he was driving all over the place and moving the body, and then she comes and picks her up. The whole thing is just bizarre.
Yeah, and then we've got Eduardo. Mr. Eduardo.
I can't. But what's the other guy's name? She says.
Where did she come up with that name?
It was the guy from the lineup. What was his name? I can't think of it off the top of my head. But you're changing your story so drastically. Your credibility is gone, girl. It is gone.
It's shot. Yeah, absolutely done with. Absolutely done with. So you now I have not. I do not know 25% of the Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell case that I do, the Gannon and Stock case, because it is so confusing. So many dead people, so many people connected in some 6 degrees of separation type way. Very, very confusing. And I honestly, I'm going to tell you, I don't feel comfortable going over. I'm not saying now. I want to hear your thoughts on it. What I'm saying is, I've never gone over it really on this channel so much, except for, when we survived the end of the world, that next day I went live and I was like, I'm thankful to be here.
Right. I know. What a bunch of nuts. They are crazy. And she is the Black Widow of Idaho and of wherever she used to live. I think it was Phoenix or something. Whatever. Wild.
I mean, it seems to me that whenever someone is an inconvenience to them, it's just a simple solution for them to just be rid of them.
That's what it is. They
make them disappear,
and then they get rid of them.
Make them disappear.
Yeah.
Like it's just nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, how arrogant And that's a crazy, you know what I mean? That's to me, that's, you see arrogance in other killers and serial killers. You see a level of arrogance in Ted Bundy, but not the same type of arrogance.
No.
This is arrogance in their reasons for killing. Like Ted Bundy didn't kill people in an arrogant fashion. He just had a compulsion and had to do it, but you have Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell who feel literally as though they are divine, and they figure, well, we just erase them from existence if they are an inconvenience to us. Like that is a level of that is the deadliest possible level of arrogance that there is.
Well, and that's the problem too. I think it's like arrogance, yes, and she just truly doesn't think that like any sort of rules apply to her whatsoever, not in the least. And so anytime there's an inconvenience for her, yeah, she just gets rid of it, whether it's a husband, family member, kid, friend. She's just knocking them off, and she has her henchman brother kill everyone. And then when everybody's done, time to get rid of him.
Dude, when somebody blocks a family member on Facebook, I'm like, damn, that's bold. Like you're going to rub them out, just because they said something you don't like, or they're being an inconvenience to you in some form or fashion. That's crazy. I mean,
it is crazy. They are wild, and I'm so glad that they finally I'm so glad they actually found the children's remains, because I was worried for a while there that they were gonna essentially get away with it. And so, which they're so stupid and arrogant that you had months to at least get the bodies off the property, and dispose of them, but you didn't think you even needed to, which blows my mind. So it's I'm so happy that they were finally caught, because even though they haven't been officially charged with the murder yet, it's they will be. I'm sure they will be. And I think everything now is just beginning to pile on top of them.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, when I went live about the end of the world not happening, it was really funny, because all I could think about was, what are they thinking now? Are they shit, what now? Right after midnight struck, where they're like, fuck.
You know what? I'm just going to adjust my light here really quick. But you know what? I think that that's actually why she tried to get her bail reduced, because I think she thought it was the week before the end of the world. And I think that what she was trying to do was get her bail reduced in the location she was, so that she could get transferred over to Madison, or I forget, she has Fremont charges and Madison County, but get transferred to the jail where Chad's at, so they could be together for the end of the world.
Right.
Which, yeah. It's even if you get it reduced, you still have another $1 million bond on your head. What are you talking about, Lori? Quit it.
I mean, that's a hell of a thing, I mean, talk about putting all your eggs in one basket, just betting on the end of the world to happen on a particular date is as ultimate of in confidence in your actions that you can possibly get. Well, here I'm going all in with no.
How stupid does she feel right now? You've been literally so devoted and following this man who's been writing books and has a podcast, and you left your husband and killed your husband for him. You probably killed your children for him, because he is the man you're following, who's telling you the end of days are coming, and that day comes and nothing happens. So it's then you're sitting in your jail cell. I killed my kids. I killed my husband who was taking care of me, and I had a cushy ass life. I did this for this guy who was bullshitting me the whole time. And now I'm gonna face murder charges.
Exactly.
At what point do you have to be I screwed up a little bit. I kind of went down the wrong path here.
Unreal, dude.
I know.
That's the whole thing, is these criminals, man, they blow my mind, as to, did you actually finally watch did you watch the accident, suicide, or murder episode?
I have it on DVR. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to tonight.
Okay. Yeah, and remember, on the 8th, they're going to be reshowing the Dateline.
Yeah.
And Sean is down to do an interview. So,
okay, yeah.
And I told him about you. So, if you wanted to do that, that would be super fun, I think.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm going to have him on here. So, but yeah, he's a good friend of mine. And he it's crazy what he did. Like he ended up having to testify against his mom. He's the one who discovered the evidence, and they had gotten away with this murder for 6 years. And so she gives Sean power of attorney because she went to prison for stolen valor and defrauding the government. And so she hands over power of attorney to Sean, and he obtains her computers, and he figures, great, computers for my kids. But before I let my kids use them, I'm going to go through them to make sure there's nothing inappropriate on here. And then he finds all these pictures. He basically finds the evidence. I'll let you watch the thing, but he finds the evidence and goes and calls the FBI immediately and goes, you guys need to look at this. This is crazy. This is messed up.
Wow.
Yeah. And what's funny is he's like the most laid back guy ever. So he's really, really chill. He does not mind talking about it. He's I guess, I mean, it all happened while he was already an adult, well into an adult. He had kids and a family, so to him, it's just something, crazy that happened, and he doesn't mind talking about it. It's not traumatizing to him in any way. Now, I mean, the thing made it a little bit more dramatic, like Bang Bang Kiss Kiss 007. What's up, by the way? She's saying
wait, what thing?
That's her name, man. Check it.
No, I know, I just realized that.
Yeah, she's awesome, actually. But yeah, they made it more dramatic. It's their job. They cut it when he came to the club, and sort of, he was like, yeah, I just watched it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, I got it DVR'd. I'm going to watch it when I get home. And he's like, yeah, they cut it up like crazy and made it seem like it was, it's pretty funny because when you know him and you talk to him, he's never that dramatic at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it tonight.
Yeah, he's a good dude. But does anybody have any questions for Annie here?
Put me on the spot.
I just want to I like to yes. And I want to say that too. I think, I've told you this in text. Modding your channel is unbelievably easy. You have generally a very, very good chat. And I feel like a chat, when it comes to YouTube creators who do live streams, I think the behavior of people in chat is a reflection of the creator, honestly, because when you have I worked real hard to not focus on quantity of subscribers, but quality of subscribers. I want the people who listen to me to get me and where I'm coming from and understand kind of how I think. And so that I can have cool conversations with them. I'm picking my friends, basically what I'm doing, and so I feel like it's a reflection of the creator to have decent people in their chat, and you blowing up so fast the way that you have, and having that already, and you need moderators, but you haven't really needed them yet, which is pretty amazing. I like moderating your channel.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at your chat right now, and like, I love that all of your followers and your stuff are talking to each other. Like, they're all friends. Like, it's like a big community, which is amazing.
Yeah. The Glare is kind of its own little world.
Yeah, I like that.
And I'm very proud of it. I started this channel because the Glare is actually an acronym that stands for gratitude, logic, awareness, acceptance, accountability, rationality, empathy, and resilience. And I
never know.
Right. It's just, I kind of lived a certain way a few years ago, and basically I just kind of stopped feeling sorry for myself is what happened. And I started applying those things to my everyday decision making, and it's It's pretty great. Being insightful. It's nice. You know.
That's great.
So I really let me see what. Okay, there we go. I'm supposed to post that when I do this because again I suck. But
I literally thought it was your last name.
No. But yeah, this is so I try to follow these principles in my decision making. I'm not perfect, but I try to apply these things, and I try to apply these things when I analyze true crime. I try to apply these things. I definitely apply these things when I exercise. So to me, this is just kind of a key way of living my life, and it is improved very much. So I kind of use this channel to more or less document that, and kind of, it's, I don't know. People seem to like it. I like it, and it's nice. I have a good time.
It's all great positive things too to be living your life by. I think that's fantastic.
Right. And don't get me wrong, man, I could be a dick, you'll watch a couple of my lives from the past, and I'm not always the nicest guy in the world, but it is what it is. And I don't believe in beating around the bush. I don't believe in, I'm very straightforward with people because to me, it's a courtesy. I would prefer that people be that way with me. I'm not going to take it personal. I'm not going to take it as an attack if you are being honest with me about how I make you feel. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's okay. I welcome that. And so I'm kind of that way. And sometimes people can't really handle it. But
I'm super judgmental and I call people out like nobody's business, and I probably shouldn't, especially when it comes to true crime, because I know it should be very fact driven, but I talk a lot of crap and I say what I feel, and that doesn't always go over so well either.
I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, you look at Critical K. I mean, she's brilliant. She's very well educated. And she will say things that you're afraid to think of. She'll say them out loud. Like she'll say things that, like, if you're thinking of a true crime case and your mind kind of starts to go there, something in your mind will go, no, don't go there. Mm-hmm. And then when she says it out loud, she kind of forced you to go there, and then you get mad about it. I don't get mad about it. I go, holy shit. Oh man, people are going to get mad about that. And and I laugh about it. And it seems like she's doing it to troll her audience. But it's not. She's not. She really believes in critical thinking. She really believes in alternative perspectives. And I respect that a lot. But a lot of people hate her for it, man. A lot of people hate her for it.
Will you send me, like either email or text me that link? I want to check her out.
Yeah, I will. I will do so. She will call out other creators too, man. Oh man. Yeah, she's definitely a firecracker. But every time I have a conversation with her, it is always very, very insightful. I always learn from it. She always seems to learn from it. So it's always, I believe in having conversations with people and having dynamics with people where our conversations are beneficial to the both of us. I'm a very, very firm believer in that. And I feel like we kind of had that here. I look forward to doing this again if you're willing to. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
And there's a lot of other creators, man, out there that you should probably check out. And it's great. Like if you stick to what you're doing, oh my God, you're gonna do amazing things, especially with your. I believe that you have a really good heart, and I believe in your channel, and I'm proud to be a moderator. I really, really mean that. So I really hope that everyone here who has not checked out your channel yet, make sure, please, you subscribe to 10 to Life, and you're definitely gonna hear some great insight. I definitely enjoy it.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. It was fun. Thank you guys for the amazing chat too. You guys you have a great group of followers. Seriously.
Yeah, I love them very, very much. I'm so grateful for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much again, and we will do this again soon. Yeah.
Have a good night, guys.
All right. Good night, Annie. All right, my friends. I'm really glad that Annie got to join us tonight. Much love to her. Much respect. And guys, I'm gonna call it. I had a great time. And actually, you know what? Let's watch a Karen video real quick before we go. Let's do this real quick. I actually meant to do this with Annie on too. I thought that would have been fun, but we got to talking so long, and I don't think she expected to be on any longer than an hour or so. But nevertheless, we're gonna do this.
Welcome back to Karen.
And I can't wait for everyone.
You're not going to say my son has flaws.
You can leave. No, I don't have to leave. That freshman wearing, we paid for.
Let's calm down.
You're not going to ruin my day.
You are not going to say my son has flaws.
Wow.
Everybody has flaws, and that's why I love them. You can leave,
Yeah.
Judy.
Like you don't have flaws.
You can get out of my wedding now.
I'm not leaving. That dress you're wearing, I paid for.
Dude, is this lady for real? Okay, so you've got a wedding right here. Okay, now let's be honest. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people at this wedding, dude. There does not seem to be a lot of people at this wedding, people. Let's watch this from the beginning again. Let's do this again.
And I can't wait for everyone.
You're not going to say my son has flaws.
This lady is the groom's mom, and she's a heckler at a wedding, dude. How low is that? How low is that? Look. Okay, so she's like, she likes to say that my son has flaws. So they're just like, what in the hell? Did that just really happen on our wedding day? But why there's not a lot of people at this wedding. So I'm wondering if these people are just not very likable all around. Like, I wonder if the apple doesn't really fall far from the tree, right? This lady's obviously an asshole. Anybody who's willing to speak up and interrupt their own kid's wedding is got to be a real piece of work. So, but I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm wondering if the reason why there's not anybody at this wedding is because nobody likes these people either. I'm wondering if that's the case.
You can leave. No, I don't have to leave. That dress you're wearing, we paid for.
Let's calm down.
Okay, so now she's got to throw in her face that she paid for whatever's going on here. So now she's got to throw in her face that she paid for whatever's going on here.
I'm not going to say my son has flaws.
And she's like, you're not gonna ruin my day, but she already ruined it. Like, that's a wrap. That is a wrap on that wedding day, dude. That is an absolute. Look at this guy's already like. I wonder if she's drunk. I wonder if she got hammered drunk and showed up to the wedding. Like, I wonder what the whole dynamic is with that whole family, dude. Think about that. Think about what's home like, right? Like there's an infinite amount of possibilities.
Wow.
Everybody has flaws, and that's why I love them. You can leave, Judy.
Like you don't have flaws.
You can leave.
You can get out of my wedding
I'm
now.
not leaving. That dress you're wearing, I paid for.
Listen.
Get out. I'm not getting out. Try it, and I'll have your wrist.
Tony, get her out of here. This is not right. Tony.
Look at that. Look at how messed up that is. Like the whole place is like, yo, lady, what are you thinking right now? Like, why would you do that? This poor guy, this poor woman. I mean, I will say this. Maybe they're not very likable people. Who knows? But this woman loves that man. You know how I know that? Is because she has to know the type of woman that his mother is already. She must be already very, very familiar with her. She must already be very, very, she must already have a dynamic with her. And she accepts her. She's making a decision by marrying this man. She's making the decision to be with that woman for the rest of her life. The old woman's wife, hopefully the young people outlive her. But, she's, as long as that old woman is alive, she's marrying into that. In a way, she's marrying the mom. In a way.
The wedding.
You showed us that. You let your daughter
Let's just calm down. Hey, we don't need this. We don't need this.
I don't want to hear any flaws about
All right.
A few moments
I don't want to hear any flaws about my son. Like, those flaws are probably your fault anyway, ladies.
later.
I'm leaving. That dress you're wearing, I paid for.
Listen.
Get out. I'm not getting out. Try it, and I'll have your wrist.
Why did that say a few moments later? A few moments later. And why did it say that? And they like replayed the same thing that we just saw.
Out of here. This is not right.
That's the wedding.
You showed us that. You let your daughter
Let's just calm down. Hey, we don't need this. We don't need this.
I don't want to hear any flaws about
All right. You have the flaws right now.
Are you kidding?
You have the flaws right now. And she's like, me? I have the flaws? How? Like, lady, do you understand? Have you been on the planet Earth in all these years of your being alive? Have you been on the planet Earth where literally every culture where there's a wedding, every culture that has any type of ritual that is considered matrimony, where two people decide to make promises to spend the rest of their lives together, you don't do that. It's common knowledge. Doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. You don't do what, if you do anything, you don't do what this lady's doing right here.
You don't know how to act like an adult right now.
I give that man $500 because he wants to live high and right.
Oh my God.
This is not your day.
Wow.
About you.
I love this guy right here. This guy right here. This guy right here hates his life, dude, and he does not give a shit about anything that's happening around him. Look consistently. The camera's on this guy. Watch, I'm rewinding it. Okay, I'm bringing it back. Watch. Look at this guy.
All right. You have the flaws right now.
He's sitting there scratching his arm very lightly, just trying to ignore all of the madness that's happening around him. This is so funny to me. Hold on.
Are you kidding?
Like an adult. You don't know how to act like an adult right now.
I give that man $500 because he wants to live high and right. Oh my God.
That's the husband. That's why, dude. That is the husband. She gets up, she points at him, and she's like, I gave this man $500 to do God knows what. And he's just like, yo, it takes a man that patient to be married to her. That is, dude, that dude is a ninja, dude. That guy is a Zen master. Look, watch.
Wow. No, she's not in love.
It's not about you.
She's in love with your son.
Okay, that's convenient, please.
Oh, and it says, Heidi, you is my son. Heidi, you're supposed to
Let us continue, please. What have you chosen today?
Be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video on all social media platforms, making Karens go viral one video at a time. With peace and love, peace and love.
Peace and love, y'all, from Misery. That's one of Misery's videos, so shout out to him for people blow my mind. So anyways, guys, I am going to call it. I want to thank one more time. Big shout out to Annie from 10 to Life. And make sure you subscribe to her channel. This is very soon, because we will be doing this again very soon, my friends.